let's talk about Mind Blower. Now, Mind Blower is one of those type of roller coasters where it can be really polarizing to the community. Either you love it or you hate it. So the ride opened in 2017 to mixed reviews. There were some people that loved it. There were some people that thought it was rough already. I rode it later that year. Yeah, it was pretty bumpy for a brand new roller coaster, but it's wooden and you kind of expect it to be a bit rougher than your steel coasters. But Mind Blower kind of took that literally. If you're new to this channel, hey, welcome to Coasters and Travels, where I talk about roller coasters, theme parks, and travel. If that sounds good to you, make sure to subscribe to this channel. And while you're at it, please like this video. It's free and it helps me greatly. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about the beginnings of Mind Blower, its transformation, and its future moving forward. So again, the ride opened around June of 2017. And there were some people that liked it. There were some people that thought, oh my goodness, this is too rough of a roller coaster. In my opinion, I thought it was amazing. It was a spectacular ride when it first came out. The pacing was unlike anything I've ever felt before. This was my very first gravity group roller coaster, so I was excited to finally get one in Florida. One with an inversion nonetheless. It was pretty exciting at the time because I don't think people knew that you can make roller coasters with inversions. Thank you, Gravity Group, man. I love Gravity Group for doing that. Even though they weren't the first manufacturer to have an inversion on a wooden coaster, but they're the first, I guess, modern. No, they're not the first modern, but they're the first ones to have an actual permanent inversion in their ride without having to take it out. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. One thing I like about the ride, and many people may not like, I love the Timberliners, man. Something about the way it comes over you. It's comfortable for me, especially as a bigger guy. I don't have an issue with the restraints. I know there's some people out there, they may have an issue with those Timberliner trains, but those are like one of my favorite trains. They're so comfortable, at least for me, at least for my body type. They're very, very comfortable. Over the years, it definitely got rougher. Because it started off rough, but it got actually rougher, and it got to the point, I would say around 2021, where I was like, okay, this is too much. So the roughest part of the ride is, okay, so you have the first drop, and then you have the corkscrew, and then you have that intense turnaround to the first airtime hill. That part is super intense, probably the most intense part of the entire ride, because after that inversion and you turn, you get hella laterals and you get hella G-forces, and then you just pop up into some really violent airtime. So yeah, good times, but it was not good when it was rough. It was extremely painful. Well, what I say extremely, it was pretty damn painful. I want to say extremely, but it was pretty damn close. Fun Spot decided to close the ride and add 208 retract to it. And in my opinion, it definitely was a major improvement. A lot of us thought they was going to 208 retract the entire ride, was honestly they should, but after they tested it and it reopened, it was definitely a lot better. The roughest parts they definitely got rid of, but there were some parts where they haven't touched where it's still pretty bad, but it wasn't as bad as the roughest parts, but they're getting there. Now we're here in December of 2024. I got my last ride this past Monday. It feels like it's riding on square wheels, man. Like the first turn around is still, I guess, smooth, but everything else that Fun Spot haven't touched, it has gotten to a point where it is bad now. All the slightly rough parts are pretty damn rough, and it only took me 2 rides to realize, yeah, I don't want to ride this anymore. It's gotten pretty, I want to say, back to its original state, but I don't think it's fun to re-ride, over and over again, unless you like headaches, unless you really like headaches. But yeah, Mind Blower is slowly turning back to how it was originally, which is crazy because that first turnaround is still smooth, albeit a bit intense. But yeah, as soon as you pop out of that airtime hill, it just gets rough, like immediately rough. And yeah, they definitely need to do something. But I did heard from the grapevine, and I'm not the one to like to spread rumors, but I did hear from the grapevine that there are you know, trying to make some changes to Mind Blower. I don't want to say too much, but one rumor I will say that I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal is that they're looking to buy more trains, preferably from RMC. And anyone who looked at the IAPA this year and saw RMC's brand new trains, if Fun Spot get those type of trains, ooh, I would be so freaking happy, because those trains remind me a lot of Iron Rattler's trains back at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and boy, those are some really comfortable trains. My experience with those specific trains, it felt very good. I felt very safe. It's less restrictive than the current RMC restraints, but yet you still get that protection, and it's more free flowing. It's you're more free to do whatever. And I love that RMC went with this new design. And if it's true, I really hope Fun Spot get those trains, because yeah, they definitely need something to help with the smoothness. As far as what I think for the future, what I really wish they should have done with Mind Blower, instead of going with RMC, I don't know why they just didn't go with Gravity Group's engineered pre-cut track. I mean, it's a Gravity Group roller coaster, and from what I heard, they're still contracted with Gravity Group. I don't know why. Maybe it was a cost thing. That's why they went with RMC, because at the time Fun Spot got Air Force One built, I'm assuming they struck some type of discount with RMC to add some 208 retract to Mind Blower. I'm thinking that's what it was. In the long run, it would have just been better off if they just went with Gravity Group, got their pre-engineered cut track, retract the entire ride, or at least from the first drop to the brake run, they could have retract with that new type of track, and I feel like it would have lasted a lot longer. I think another thing Fun Spot Kissimmee needs to do in order to make sure that ride rides smoothly, if they go in this direction, is to keep, regular maintenance. Now, I know they're not like Holiday World, where I know in Holiday World they maintain the Voyage and the other coasters like very regularly, but I feel like if Fun Spot did better with maintaining of Mind Blower, if they go in this direction and just keep maintaining it from time to time, they don't have to do it like every year, but just do like the rougher parts and just keep doing it and just keep taking care of it. I feel like that the ride would definitely last longer. They don't need to do that with White Lightning, because White Lightning is not really that intense, and even now it is a great wooden roller coaster. It feels very good. It's not, it feels like a normal wooden roller coaster. It's not the smoothest. I mean, again, wooden roller coasters are not smooth, but it's not rough in the slightest. It's fun, got great pacing, and I feel like it's going to last a long time. Unfortunately, Mind Blower lasted what, 7 years before they had to get rid of it. Let's see, 2007, 18, 19, 21 to about 5 years. 5 years until they had to do something about it, which is insane. Insane. But there's a reason why there's not a lot of wooden coasters in Florida. For some reason, I don't know if it's the humidity or something, but they don't last that long. I mean, look at Gwazi. I mean, because Gwazi was built in Florida, we got Iron Gwazi. We eventually got Iron Gwazi. So there's only, how many wooden roller coasters we got in Florida? I think we only got 3. We got Mind Blower, we got White Lightning at Fun Spot Orlando, and we got Coastersaurus over at Legoland. Those are the only 3 wooden roller coasters we got, assuming Coastersaurus is still open. But yeah, those are the only 3. I don't think wooden roller coasters are in the future for Florida parks anytime. Maybe wooden or maybe coasters that look wooden but they're not, like the Incredible Coaster over at Disney California Adventures. That may be the direction they could go to get like a classic wooden roller coaster, but I don't think they're gonna go that far. But anyway, back to Mind Blower. The sad thing about it, man, I really enjoy the pacing of this ride. It is so freaking intense, and the fact that Gravity Group was able to put so much track into so little space, they have mastered that art, in my opinion. If you look at all their other coasters, Boardwalk Bullet, even the smaller kiddie coasters, they really know how to pack a lot of ride in a very small space. That's something I feel like Gravity Group is very talented in, and it will be such a waste of a ride if they don't take care of it, man. Mind Blower, in my opinion, is something very special. It is one of the most unique rides here in Florida. Mind Blower in its peak definitely was a contender for a top roller coaster in Florida for sure, just because of its intensity alone. All right then, so those are my thoughts about Mind Blower. Let me know what you think in the comments. When the last time you were in Mind Blower, and did you ride it before or after the 208 retrack? Let me know in the comments below. And until then, I'll see you next time.